We have competences at the same direction about land mobility infrastructures, its public transport and roads. Allow me, first of all, a little introduction to Catalonia. I don't know if you know Catalonia. Perhaps you know Barcelona, our capital. You know the Ramblas, Holy Family, Gaudí, our beaches. Perhaps you know our football team, Leo Messi, obviously. Perhaps you know the last political facts of the last month, but Catalonia is more of this. Catalonia is an active and dynamic territory. It's an economic motor of Spain and Europe. We are a main touristic destination, and at the same time, an important industrial territory with more of almost 20% of GDP vinculated with the industry, chemical industry, automotive industry, etc. About the roads, the Generalitat of Catalonia, the regional government of Catalonia, we have absolutely competences about a half of the road network. Another is for the local authorities or the state authorities. And we have these 6,000 kilometers of competences. The main feature of our network is the heterogeneous, because we have mountain roads with very few intensity of vehicles a day, with problems of winter, because we have the Pyrenees, we have ski, etc. We have urban motorway to access to Barcelona with more than 150,000 vehicles per day, urban tunnels, etc. I think this is the strongest for us, like organization, because we have a very wide vision about the wall of roads. And what about safety? This is the rate of deaths per million inhabitants. We are 38, 37, it depends on the year. It's not so bad in the context of Europe, but for us, our reference are Sweden, obviously, Netherlands, and UK is the reference to improve our results. And what's the evolution of the last years? We have a successful history this century, no? Because you see, from almost 300 fatal accidents, this is only our network, our Generalitat network. I'm speaking about this, and we are at 80 fatal accidents at the year. Why? A lot of different, it's not only a shared successful, perhaps improvement of the cars, more disciplined drivers. We introduced some years ago the points at the driver lessons, and a big investment as last years about infrastructure, with a big investment about the growth of a high-capacity network. In this moment, Spain have more motorways than Germany, for example. More is with 14,000 kilometers of motorways. But come back to the figure of before. When we see what is happening the last years at 2013, there is a change, no? It is a slight toboggan, in the sense that we are with this process of stagnation. Why? Different reasons, sure. The mobility is increasing after the crisis. Yeah, really, this is an impact. But I think when you have this responsibility, these 80 accidents, you analyze all of them with a map every year. When you are looking for a pattern of what is happening, it's difficult, because I think that we are in a process of changing our model, of changing the paradigm. It's a mature, we grow, we are in this moment mature, and we are exerting a traditional reactive model. We cannot think with the same solutions now that at the past. This is a surprise. This is new. Allow me tell you a little history. I was one day, I have a delay for my flight from Brussels to Barcelona, and I met a friend of a friend, and you begin to speak, waiting the plane. He was a clever guy, and very interesting, and it's very usual that when someone knows that you have responsibility about roads, they ask, wow, my road, this what happened here, what is this situation, what are you doing to improve this, etc., etc., etc. We begin to speak about roads, And I tell him this, no? Wow, we're changing the behavior, what is happening. And he said, for me, it's not a surprise. It's not new. He works yet now, at a big steel producer company at the industry. And he said to me, this is the same than for the safety work at industrial safety. At first, we have problem with this machine, this procediment. It's very easy to detect where we have the problem. When you resolve this, when you figure out all these situations, the problems are everywhere. And it's part of the success. It's part of this maturing and mature to change your vision on how you need to continuous improvement, to continuous reducing this. But you cannot say that you can think like before, because you have superred all this first stage, and you are in another scenario. And it's very important to have this idea that the concept of black spot, etc. It's possible, 1 or 2, but it's not the same of the last years. This is not a 100% situation, it's an evolution, no? But we are in this road, going in this way, with this transformation of the paradigm of what is the behavior of the accidents. This is very, very important to think about what can we do. And I want to tell you now about the same strategies that we are implementing, that we are doing, we have done, and in the last years, over things. This is a low-cost actions, not so much money, but a high-value actions. This is very important. Don't think about the cost, think about the value, think about the results. And the results with these actions is very, very important. I begin perhaps with the more important thing, modernization and continuous improvement, to change how the organization thinks about itself. I don't like maintenance like a war. And allow me come back to the industry. The phone. Think about it. If we come back here the next 2 years, hopefully, we are here, I bet with you that every one of us will have a new model, different model, I'm sure. But if we come back here in 10 years, I don't know, but possibly the motorway to come here it will be the same. I hope not. But it's possible this. We need to change our mentality about this. We need to change to management roads, to modernization and continuous improvement, upgrading, and we need this standardization of these improvements to add with this new reality of the accidents. And this is a plan that we have to work about this. Sorry. We are implementing 2+1 from Sweden, because for us, Sweden is a good example. We are working on different, I don't want to bore you with the details. More things, another strategy, the directive of EU about how to audit, how to introduce the road safety at all the process of the roads. Planning and project with audit, but my interest is about management. At the roads and service, we have this very strong tool that is a road safety inspections. It's a very interesting because you audit the roads and you introduce this new standard, this new vision of how can we improve the roads using this tool. And for me, it's important that the formation of the inspectors are civil servants from the own organization. And for me, it's important because usually we do that. People from one territory goes to do the inspection from another territory, not the roads that they manage. And it's a process because it's kind to introduce at the organization the culture of safety. They are safety inspectors, and we are introducing this culture inside of the people who is more usual only to maintenance, no? A different vision. Europe, my friend John, I can allow quote him, and with this I allow this. This is not management without assessment. No, this is very important. To manage, we need data, we need assessed. We cannot manage with anything. No, and EuroRAP is this organization with this objective to help administrations for the road safety, and the star rating score. Star rating score defines not only this 10 it's not only for conventional roads to motorways, etc. Not only 10 key attributes, it's 52 attributes, different attributes, and they give. With all these attributes and we try to represent every 100 meters of a road with 52 different attributes. Some ones are about the intensity of circulation, etc. And with VIDA is a program who introduce all this, and they categorize this road, this tranche, and after the whole road. In the sense, this is Netherlands, you can give to every one road a star system. Yesterday, with Juan Jose, we speak about communication, how communicate with the citizens. I don't know if it's citizens, users, or taxpayer. All three is different. Perhaps to be able to classify with something very simple, very quick, everyone can understand if one road is 2 stars, it's not the same than 5 stars, no, or 4, etc. After go ahead thinking about how establish a goal, an objective of, like Netherlands, to say all my national roads must be 3 stars at 2025, etc. I think this is to introduce this concept of modernization, continuous improvement, great, with a clear objective, not only something without support. And Netherlands goes forward in the sense that they are doing this for different users, no? Motorcycle, cycle, pedestrian, etc. We are working in this now. Perhaps this year we'll be able to give this classification of about SR's EuroRAP system. For us, it's a challenge to do this, and we think that this is inside all of this philosophy of modernization of our roads, existing roads. One example that I'm very proud of it, because it wasn't easy, is to think about mobility, to think about corridors, to think how to profit the infrastructure that we have. This is an example of a few years ago. We have a corridor, it's the connection from Spain to Europe, with a motorway 3 lanes, AP7, and with a conventional road and 2 conventional road crossing different populations for inside. We have a problem because there was every year at N2 at the conventional line, the conventional road, we have about 10 deaths for hit-on overall, and we have a very important problem of safety and congestion too. But safety was the main problem. What we do, what we did in this moment, forbid the tracks of pass. Absolutely, this is the stick and the carrot. The stick, the trucks cannot go by the conventional road, the cars who pass. If one car goes to an industry, okay, no problem, but one truck that is going to Europe is obligated, he must go by the highway, by the motorway, obviously, 3 lanes, no problem of capacity, we forbid this. And the carrot. We work with a discount of 35% or 50%, depends of internal movement or past movement. Results, we can, with this action, more than 3,000 trucks go to the motorway. We reduce 94% the vehicles of heavy vehicles use, 95% pass for the IP7, and we have a reduction of 74% of fatal mortal accidents at the conventional. This is a date and statistics, but In 4 years, this means about 35, 40 accidents, 35, 40 dramas, 35, 40 persons who live than we lost. And cost, zero. The increase of the traffic pay the discount. Very easy, it seems. Very complicated, a risk. Tax company against us, hotels and gas stations against us. Not easy, a risk, but a finish, a success. Our challenges. Work in the context of low budget. We need, in general, perhaps, yesterday we don't know communicate, but we know to work with low budget. We need to work with low budget and to be imagination, innovation, to apply it. Vulnerable users, Kenneth said before, this is our main problem. Imagine one question. You know what is Segway? Segway, you know, at the urban cities, etc. Imagine a Segway that can go 100 kilometers per hour. Imagine this, possible, I don't know, 100 or 120. Do we let this Segway go by a motorway? Circle by the motorway? No, but the motorcycle, yes. Perhaps if we invented now the motorcycle, we say that cannot go for some places. It's a very, very big problem, vulnerable users, and the most difficult solution, I think. Digitalization, blah, 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 blah. A lot of things, a lot of Congress, everybody speaks. We are, people from infrastructure are waiting that someone says, is this? Okay, come on, we begin. Perhaps it's the solution, perfect. But in this moment, we're in a transition moment and waiting for exactly what is this, because sometimes we don't know what we need to do. Our challenges, our commitment, Vision Zero. But it's very easy to speak Vision Zero, yes, yes, blah, blah, but one comment. Sometimes when you speak with professionals of the road about Vision Zero, they say, wow, I don't know, it's not possible, it's possible. Or in 2050, no, 2070, it's impossible, no, never, we need the IB, etc. No, this is a wrong discussion, no. Vision Zero is now. Vision Zero is an attitude, it's an ethical position. It's to say, and allow me an example, medicine, a doctor. A doctor have Vision Zero? Yes, really. Is the vocation of a doctor. The doctor for ER, the doctor surgeon, the doctor who is investigation about vaccines, they have the Vision Zero because the vocation is to save life, to save life. Vision Zero is something, it's an ethical position that we need from yet now, and hopefully someday nobody doubts that all the people who works at the roads is working to do safer roads and safe life every moment. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Xavier. What we might do is hold questions there because I'm conscious that we're going to finish on time and invite Xavier to join us as part of the panel soon. Our last speaker in this session before we move to some panel discussion is Eric Ollinger from the Directorate of Transport Infrastructure from the Ministry of Transport in France. And Eric is going to talk to us about safety measures in the non-public